Hello my friends and welcome to my 1 year anniversary video. How crazy is it to be saying that 1 year anniversary on YouTube and Twitch? So I have to talk about Twitch a little bit first and then to YouTube. So I initially started streaming on a game called Astronauts. That was the first ever stream I did. Had 0 viewers throughout the stream. And I was like, maybe not, maybe a bit too niche. I'll introduce it much later on. But I really like Astronauts. It's one of my favourite sort of space sims, really in depth. It's a great game. And I eventually was like, right, what's coming out? What can I do? What can I play over the next sort of few days? And nothing's getting views. Nothing is getting views. Then my phone pings, boom, Dustland Delivery has released. Just launched. I thought, you know what, let me play that. Let me play Dustland Delivery. And, you know, I booted up, get it streaming. And for those of you who may have seen the series, I didn't record the first hour. Completely blank. I wasn't streaming anything. Well, if I was to show you, screen kinda just looked like this. But the thing is, I didn't have a webcam at the time, so there's nothing on the screen. I'll actually show you that video later, the first ever full video I did. And it was quite funny. It was just like, oh goodness, what is this? Whoops. So I switched over, showed the webcam, like showed off everything. The screen was showing. I had a terrible microphone. I was actually using a microphone for this headset. It's actually the same headset I use. That's absolutely busted. But you see, all I did was I flipped it around so you don't see the red anymore. It's not broken, don't fix it, right? But yeah, no, so I was using this headset, terrible microphone. I've always had bad luck with microphones with these headsets. Love them, but never had the luck with a microphone. Obviously, such a different setup now. I've got a like siren-free like speed mic. I've got a webcam. Like I've used Razer because Razer was always my favorite brand growing up. My keyboard, my mouse. You know, I wanted it to be Razer. I felt that was part of my journey. But it's been incredible. So Dustland Delivery, we're playing it, and we get our first viewer and our first follower, Psycon. Now, you might have seen that name pop up if you've ever watched my content, because Psycon is our longest term viewer. It's crazy. Psycon turns up, he's a really long time sub as well. He's been subbing basically since the day it launched. So Psycon's been around a while. And I can only give my appreciation to that, because if Psycon hadn't jumped in, I was starting to lose a bit of hope, because it had been quite a few days of no one in. And that's the first video I ever actually upload to YouTube. It was, until a few days ago, my most watched video ever. Aha, one has taken the reign. So, taken the reign? Caesar Reign. Caesar Reign took it. The president we need. So, it's incredible to see that a video like that does so well, but I learned at the time I was the only person who was making a full playthrough of the game, which was really interesting. Not Caesar Reign talking about Dustland Delivery. And that was really interesting to see. I was the only person doing it, like a really long haul playthrough. Obviously, a lot of much bigger YouTubers have done very condensed clips, but I, still like I do now, like to play the full thing and upload the full videos. The only exception to that is the games like Holdfast, where I don't upload it in full, I tend to cut it down and then post that. So it's quite interesting seeing how that was, for quite a time, our most popular series, only now to be taken over by Caesar Reign. And it's very interesting why Caesar Reign even became a thing. So I'm streaming, and I don't have a recording of this. I really wanted to clip it in and show you guys. But I don't have a recording. I was playing Holdfast with my friend Tom while live. Total Maestro, you've probably seen me playing with him before. And the cavalryman is charging at me, and me and Tom were playing quite actively at the time. So I was like, take him out, we shoot him. Like, I think I'm a rifleman at the time. And I'm like, hey, I killed you. You should watch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Lancelot10. You know, I'm just making a joke. And he keeps coming back. And I keep shooting him. And I'm like, hey, man, you just need to join the Twitch. Like, you'll learn. He does join the Twitch stream. That is where I meet. Oh, I know. I was about to refer to him by his real name. 1 second. What's his name on here? 1 second. Jace Mage. Jace Mage. That's where we meet Jace. Okay. And Jace ends up becoming one of the most influential people on the channel for a very particular reason. Now, we have people who are around potentially more, we have people who do crazy stuff, but Jace changed the future of the channel forever. Because eventually me and Jace get talking, he joins me for a few Holdfast games, and we start having an amazing time with it. You know, he's joining the streams. And Jace recommends something. He says, Lance, why don't you watch or play Suzerain? I'm like, ooh, this is a game I haven't heard of. Okay, I'll give it a little check out. It looks interesting. A political sim. You know, when I play it, why don't I wear the suit? It looks kind of like the main character. Or went from there. There's one other person that was quite influential on the channel, who's been around, my first moderator, Bridge. So Bridge joined me for a stream. I can't remember what I was playing, but my computer crashed. No, it was Return to Moria. I was still trying to play Return to Moria on my PC at that point, and it crashed my computer just as Bridge had joined the game, or joined the live. And he still followed, and thankfully Bridge came back when I was about an hour and a bit into my Space Marine 2 playthrough. And I don't know if you know, the Space Marine 2 playthrough is the longest I've played a single game, basically, ever. It was a 8.5-hour video, just one thing. I played through the full campaign, and Bridge was there the entire time. And then Bridge stuck around ever since. Now, Bridge was actually my first ever subscriber, because I had a link through Streamlabs that if you wanted to support me, you could. This was long before I was sort of affiliate. And he did. He was my first ever actual subscriber. So me and Bridge are close-knit, so we talk quite a bit, even away from Twitch. You know, that's what I like about my community, is that I've made a Discord. We talk on there, you know, people interact, people post pictures of their pets, what they're cooking, what they're making, you know. It really is homely. I love it. I absolutely love it. So it's fun. It's fun. I think of another person who really helped me out earlier on. That was War. Now, War hasn't been around for a little while. He hasn't streamed himself in a while. But War taught me everything I needed to know initially, how to do things on Twitch, how to use the OS, how to use everything. So if it wasn't for War, probably wouldn't even be doing it today, to be honest with you, at least in the sort of quality I'm doing it now. I didn't know what to do at all. So I can only thank these people. You know, there's so many names I could list. Ares, there's so Moritz, there's too many people to list. I'm going to really start divulging, so please don't be offended if your name's not been mentioned. Trust me, it makes a massive impact on me every time you guys watch, and I hope that I make some sort of impact on you. Just see the positive side on things. You know, it's been a rougher year for me. I haven't really got into it, but I had some really bad issues with my stomach, and I had to go to hospital, had to do all this stuff. So I tried to have a more positive spin on things recently, especially over the last sort of 6-7 months. And it's been really nice having that support from the community that's been built up, you know. It's not a massive community by any stretch of the imagination, but it's an amazing community where I know that if I'm streaming and they're around, they're going to watch. You know, I have viewers from all time zones. If I do an early morning stream, I'm going to have viewers there for the evening streams. You know, this is how it goes. But it's the fact that people are consistently turning up. It's amazing, honestly, that people will spend their own time to watch me stream. That's why I'm always very humbled. There's a level of humility that has to come with it, because they're choosing to watch me in their free time. That is the best respect and honor I could receive. You know, someone's choosing to watch my content. Absolutely amazing. Now, I wanted to go over a few things with you guys today, because I think you deserve to know it. My statistics. You know, I never get into money stuff. I think Twitch and YouTube aren't big fans of that. I mean, Twitch mainly. Let me find this out first, and then I'll post it. I don't really mind. But I wanted to go over a few things with you guys, so give me a moment. I'm just going to go switch everything over. Back in 1 second. Hello again. So I've gone through and brought up all my data. So I made myself a little bit bigger in the corner so you can see me. But I thought I'd bring up YouTube first, because YouTube is really interesting. Because you'll see I've had 124,473 views. Over 100,000 people. I mean, you know, multiple people can do the same stuff, but I've watched the channel. Now, it makes the question of, oh, have you only getting 173 subs? Well, most of the content are shorts. So if I scroll down, you'll actually see that majority of my views has actually come from shorts. Especially the Doom shorts. Doom shorts did really, really well. And then there's some others which have gained a few thousand. The next best video is this one, just here, actually, funny enough. The President We Need, Suzerain, that has just hit about 2,200 and I think 41 views. Whereas Dustland Delivery was just under that, around 2,200. So it's just taken up. Sorry, 1,200. So yeah, they're both taken off. Bill's just jumped on something, but but no, it's one of those where it's growing. Like it's definitely growing. Like you can see the spike here now. Obviously, the only issue is that the shorts kind of corrupt this feed because it makes it really difficult to then read the chart. If that makes sense. But in the last year, I've had 2.7 thousand view hours. So not enough to say monetize a channel, which is interesting. But and way more than I thought I would get. I'll be honest with you, like, the big goal on YouTube, I mean, I've always been quite like open with it as I do hope to one day get ads. I want to run an ad every hour. That's what I want to do. People who like it, I think an ad every hour is fair enough. It lets it grow a little bit, allows me to put more back into the streams. It doesn't cost you anything. That's my key part, is I don't want it to cost you guys anything. You can just watch the content, enjoy it, and then the ads kind of just deal with it. That's why when I'm live, I don't really do that many ad breaks unless I'm going to the loo. So it's one of those where, if I'm streaming, when I did a 10-hour stream, I think I ran 4 minutes of ads. Give you an idea. I'm not a person which is going to bombard with ads, even on YouTube. So it's one where I hope this isn't misconstrued into whether, he's just after money, but it helps me do it. I contribute a lot of my time to it. I'm hoping that, I don't want it to be like a second job, but I wouldn't mind it if it kind of covered itself, covered the servers I run. Like I run a Minecraft server for people to be on. Maybe cover the cost of that. That's kind of what I'm hoping for it to be, but we'll see how it grows. But very interesting that I've gained 173 subs. How crazy is that? Now, there's been days where we've lost subs, don't get me wrong, but look at that. We've actually gained hundreds of subscribers, currently on 223. And it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Honestly, it's amazing. So I was talking with Lord Unhold from Bear, and he remembers when I was trying to get to 100 subs on YouTube, let alone 200. Like, wow, absolutely incredible to finally be up there. A few hundred people subscribed. Obviously, the big goal is to try and get to 1,000. That's what I'm hoping for, but we just let it grow organically. We see how it grows over time, and we have fun with it. Let me show you something else also. Very colourful. I like it. Let me show you this. This is some of my Twitch figures. Now, Twitch doesn't allow me, because I was reading through the thing, to talk about money earnings. What it does let me tell you, though, is I've received 133 subs, 113, 133 subs in this entire time. So I can tell you that. So that's incredible. Over 100 subscriptions on Twitch. How crazy is that? It's amazing. It's amazing. Nearly the same amount of subs as I had followers total, which is quite funny. But what I want to show you is minutes watched. I looked at the thing. I've streamed for just over 400 hours in the year. 400 hours. So take that as you will. It's a lot of time. But the view time, obviously, you see some peaks. So the biggest peak and the most views I've ever had was for my January 12th stream, where I had, sorry, it's kind of hard to get over it. Oh, I keep missing it. But no, January 12th was when I did my birthday stream. So my birthday is on the 11th. I was out, and then January 12th, I decided to stream all day. Had dozens of people in. That had been my biggest stream up until recently, which is this little spike over here when I was doing my anniversary stream. So that spike came from about an hour. It would have been barely below the first line in minutes watched. I had people join me, but not too many. And then all of a sudden I got raided, but we'll go into that later. And we, I'm playing, I'm watching stuff, enjoying it. And the first one was when I also met the 4th KG. Now, sadly, we've kind of split apart now. I've gone my separate ways, but, but amazing group. Can't diss them whatsoever. They're an amazing group. So if you're playing Hold Fast, look for them. Though I've also made my own regiment, Brotherhood of the Lance. But yeah, so that was my biggest stream. 12th of January was playing Hold Fast. Had a load of people join in because it was my birthday. They wanted to make it special. That was really nice. And then you'll see that it's slowly kind of peaking up. Obviously, there's a lot more streams here, but they're peaking up. It's the average viewers which I like looking at, because you'll see I have streams which are doing terribly. but you'll see the average is starting to grow, which tells me that there's something going right. There's a community starting to grow here, and it's pretty special. Especially if I look at something like follows, like, wow, look at that. Still the technical biggest day. 17, this was very close with 11. But still amazing that now that's happened, if that makes sense. Makes me feel really good. You know, chatters, people getting more chatty, I love it. Viewers, you know, minutes of watch time. So, watch time, remember, I've streamed for about 400 hours. The 83,153 minutes is roughly 1,385 hours, give or take a bit. So, say if we were looking at it, that's still over 900 hours of people watching the content, not just me streaming on top. And then you take into account the YouTube, which is 2.7 thousand hours, and we've got something really, really special here. We've got something very, very special. So it's amazing that people can listen to my voice for this long. So thank you so much. Thank you if you're watching this, by the way, because I know my editing isn't the best. That's the truth of it. My editing isn't amazing. Unlike my sister, who's just started YouTube, and she's doing amazingly. Her videos are some of the best I've seen. I'll actually show her at the end. I think she's worth giving a watch. If you like my content, you might like her. But she's pretty awesome. And, you know, it's been such a humbling experience. I've grown so much as an individual over this. I have confidence, you know, in a way, because I deal with retail, you have to have confidence there. But it's made me grow, I feel, as a person. If we went back a year ago, I'd have been more snappy, I think. And now I've kind of mellowed out a little bit. It's made me more relaxed with things, made me laugh more. It's given me something to do in the free time, which I was just sort of, you know, lounging around for, not doing anything better. So it's made me feel like a much better person. So thank you for that, guys. I massively appreciate you. Let's go over some more other things. Let me just quickly switch it over. 1 second, if you like this. You're probably now thinking, Lance, why have you got up someone else's Twitch stream? So this is Flipper, Flipper_UK. Now, this amazing person is who raided me on my anniversary stream. So I had quite a few people in, so I can only say thank you to everyone who watched me while I was there. You guys are absolute legends. There were 4 of us. And it was great. You know, we're having a fun time playing King of the Castle, which is a game where you really want more people to make it much more exciting. And this is where it gets really, really fun. So Flipper decided to raid me. Now, I'll show you my reaction, but I always thought it was quite fun watching this. I was so curious what led to this. Let me show you. And before we start, Flipper's given me full permission to do this. I talked to Flipper the other day.
Okay, we're gonna go on a raid to somebody who's doing a 1-year stream anniversary. They are playing King of the Castle. They have 148 followers, so I don't want to sound silly, but I don't want us to all go in and scare them. So I do ask that we go in with a calm raid. We gauge how they do with an influx of some viewers, and then we go in with the chaos if we think that they could deal with it. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? No, don't tell them we're a cult, because 1, that is a lie, and 2, we don't want to scare them. I don't want to be that streamer that goes and scares a poor streamer as they're chilling in King of the Castle. And they're also doing a celebration, and they're wearing a crown on webcam, so that's great. So we're going to go and say hello to them. Their name is Lancelot, but we can call them Lance.
See, that's how we know we're on friend levels. So everyone calls me Lance. When I'm called Lancelot, I feel like I'm in trouble. But no, so Flipper was amazing. Honestly, she's brought her community over. So Flipper has like thousands of followers. But to be able to choose my channel to raid, massively appreciate it. You know, it made the anniversary day. Honestly, don't get me wrong, having the people there, my normal viewers there, was amazing. Like, I love you guys. But it was nice to peak. It was my most viewers I've ever had at once, which was over 30. I've never had more than, not even 15, let alone 30. So that was like really humbling. I was like, wow. And they stuck around for King of the Castle. They joined. We had an amazing time. And I streamed with them for about an hour before I went off, because by that 10-hour point, I was a little faded. So I was like, yeah, no, I need to go to sleep. Let me show you this. This is funny.
And it's their 1-year streaming anniversary celebration. So let's go say hello. Let's try not to scare them, though. Okay? So, guys, it's time to raid out. I hope you...
No, I'll stop this because it plays Flipper's music, but she just mentions, hey, let's go raid Lance. And I'll show you my reaction in a second, but did you hear what Flipper was saying there? Let's not scare them, let's gauge their reaction, let's see how it goes. That's a sign of someone who actually cares when they're viewing someone, who's actually taking the time to be cautious, just in case you were to scare the person. Now, I was fine with it, but I know other people wouldn't be. So that was a really nice thing to do. Really nice thing to do. Let me immediately get up my reaction. What am I doing over there? Oh, wait, which way am I facing? Ooh, yes, I'm over there. Let's see how I react to this, which is probably quite funny. I've won none of the chances. What do you mean obscene? I assume it's been washed off by now. I'm sure it's been washed off by now. Yes, your Serene Highness, but every time we remove the images, they appear again the next day. Did I just hit party of 29? Oh my god! Hi! Hiya! So this is my 1 year anniversary stream. Hello! Welcome in! Thank you, Flipper! Oh my god! So, yeah, I reacted exactly as you thought I would have reacted. I was freaking out. I was like, that cool, that cool. Ah! You know, one second, before I continue. There's the main star of the show, Dingbat the cat, chilling on the floor with the flowers. And that is an onion in the pot. Yes. Question nothing. I just got really bored and grew an onion. Because there's excess water, and I was like, how do I deal with it? Let it drain out? Just grow an onion. But no, so, yeah, I freaked out to that. But Flipper's community were really welcoming. And my community, also what we were already doing. Because, you know, we had 4 people in and we were all enjoying it. So it was one of those where they just added to it and made it absolutely incredible. I'm actually going to be uploading this video in the coming days. And just see how it goes, really. So, yeah, I mean, it's just moments like that which have been incredible for me. And the fact that people have been willing to join and watch my content is incredible. What I want to show you is the first video I did. So I want to show you that first Holdfast video just to give you an idea of how things have changed in sort of the evolution of the channel. Give me one moment to get that up for you, okay? Before I forget to say it, please, if you can, go give Flipper a sub, not just on Twitch, but on YouTube as well. If you can, be massively appreciated. She helped make the stream amazing, so I can only thank her again. Thank you so much for that, Flipper. Let me continue, okay? Okay, so I've got up my first video. Now, I haven't got a webcam by this point, and you're going to hear the difference in the stream. I'm up a little bit. But I know you're going to hear this difference, but just look at the quality here. I've got the band here, which funny enough is around my head now, but I didn't know how to use it. And I didn't have a webcam, so it was just there for no reason, but just listen to this. I have a stream, so I've been streaming for an hour now without realising I haven't actually been showing the game. Whoops. Sorry about that. I don't think I had chats that would pop up at this time either. There's an Undertaker. I haven't seen Undertaker since, but it's quite bad because I don't think the chats appeared on screen at this time. I didn't have it. It was something I incorporated very, very quickly, but just didn't exist, you know, for me initially. And instead of this first hour, constantly keep it up, I will do. To see that 1 year ago. 1 year ago. And this is it. I've never been the best at putting things up. Comments, descriptions and stuff. And I do timestamp a little bit more now. Not much. But it's crazy looking at this. Quite a funny journey, actually. It's awful listening to this. So thank you for everyone who suffered through it. Let me show you something a bit more modern. I think you'll like this one. Hello again. So, who's that kid in the corner? That's me. This is not my first ever video, but it's my first ever video to YouTube. And I'd love to share it with you guys. And I'll let you in on a little secret afterwards. Because I was a silly kid. But let me show you this. Okay, and this was, how many years ago? This is 13 years old. So I'm less than half the age that I am now. For reference, I'm 25. So let me show you what this video is. Enjoy.
Hey, this is Assassin's Creed Revelations, and I'm here to say that you should read the book before you actually get the game. This is why. Well, the Master Assassin Ezro is on an epic quest to find 5 keys of Massifa. To like enter like Altair's library if you actually play the game. But yeah, and like he and some other assassins that he meets on the way like try to get it, and like.
Sorry, I gotta pause it. How many times do I say like? I don't do that anymore. I hope not. Like. Points to whoever counts up.
A lady called Sophia helps him read the keys. So she makes the description. He gets to sometimes gets the keys or reads it, and then you hear and figure out what Altair did to hide the keys, and then eventually he'll find the apple that holds power to anything. Yeah. So he wants to find him to help the assassins and stop the Templars. And in one part of it you see this massive group of Templars try and kidnap Sophia, and one of the best friends to this assassin, you'll have to find out his name because I know it but I'm not telling, he gets stabbed and there's a massive assassin war against the Templars, and that is all I really have to say. So get the book before you get the game.
Right. I never read that book. Oh, sorry, no, I peeped out my mic. Yeah, I never read it. I read little bits. I skimmed through and was like, yeah, it's roughly the same. Let me do a review. I haven't done a review. My sister's like, just want to review it? I went, yeah, sure. So, interestingly enough, I have terrible writing and reading skills. I did. Writing still looks awful. It's readable, but it's not great. But reading, I shot up with massively. Because of my sister's channel, I'll show you in a bit. But she bought me a manga, the Naruto manga, first one, and I went, "Oh, it's interesting," but I could barely read. It's weird to think of a time where you couldn't, when you get to my age, when you've been able to do it for so long. But I was probably 9, 10, really not taking off on that front, and yeah, she bought me the manga, and then that led to me reading more and more. So I'm always a big fan of books. I could bring you out a crate of books from my room, which I'm reading. My Kindle. Ooh. My Kindle's full because it's cheaper to buy on Kindle, and obviously much less storage. So it's weird to think that it led to things like this. It's like a butterfly effect. That is Little Lance. Little Lance. Now there is a video from before where I'm going to have to hunt for that one because my sister has it and it's privated. So I'll have to find it somehow. I'll get her to send it across to me. But that is my first ever video. The first video. And I'm not afraid to show you guys that. There was a few of them at the time, and you get to see sort of stuff I watch, anime stuff and murder stuff. It's like, how do I put it? Things like this. So I did question answers. I did RuneScape Barrows runs. I didn't know how to record stuff. I did weird reviews, videos with my friends, my Warhammer collection, Harlem Shake. Dale's in that, my friend who I play, who's on my Minecraft server. Tried to become a YouTuber for RuneScape, did one video and that was it. Then I tried to make a return. You'll see it went years between things. I might release a review in a year sort of thing, but nothing really happened. And then I did attempt to make one series for Atomic Wasteland, which I took off of YouTube because it wasn't amazing.
Hello there, Lancelot Charkham Davies.
There's my name. That's how I used to introduce myself in the call.
Stumble across an island. Some more resources.
Just looking at it. Funny enough, it doesn't look awfully. It just doesn't sound good, does it? And I don't know what I recorded this on. I probably did it over Xbox DVR. Knowing me, it was Xbox DVR at the time. Yeah. Wow. It's weird looking at the old stuff. I've literally, while I've been doing this, gained a subscriber. What kind of luck is that? Think of that, eh? So from 223, 224 now, thank you. Kind of luck is that, eh? But no, it's interesting looking back at old content I did, because it really inspires me to make it better going forward. That makes sense? It just makes me think this, what are people going to watch, And then, Dustland Delivery, Nordland. Nordland was the last thing I ever did where I didn't add a thumbnail. It's the last thing I did. Got not terrible views for the time. It was fun, but I was terrible at the game. I never had a game successful once, more than like an hour, and I had to restart. Played Clanfolk for a while, never finished that series, so I can only apologise, but there's some people in the comments here who I want to talk about. Pull this up. Greybeard. Another JRB. That was a great viewer for YouTube. There's my friend Joe. Where are they? Where are they? I think it was on my later videos they were commenting. T-Reed. So I continued this series for a long time because of T-Reed. So I can only appreciate that. Because they were the only ones that really watched it. You know, I had some people who pop in through the streams to watch, but T-Reed is the one that kept me going through that series. Because it is a fun game, but it does get to a point where it's kind of like, well, I've hit a wall now, what do I do? Songs of Six was a fun series. Now, I've put that on hiatus because 1.0 is coming. And every update breaks the game. So I was on this line of, do I continue, do I not? You know, no one really watched it on Twitch. Not as many people, no one watched it on YouTube either. For example, this is an hour and 33. I can promise you that no one watched this. Sort of thing. And, you know, I do want to make content that people will enjoy and watch. So I got 2.7 hours and 87 views. Means that people aren't enjoying it as much. So that's where I was kind of like, do I, don't I? X4 is a game I love playing, but my computer's getting older. It's struggling. I liked Sandrock, but Sandrock is so old now that no one will watch it. But it's kind of what it is. Still getting a sub, so I can only appreciate that. Hate getting dislikes, so I hate that people really didn't like that video, which is fair enough, really. It was a long form one. Hogwarts Legacy did awfully while I was live and on YouTube, so I just thought, let me wrap that up. Let me just play that in my own time, and I did. Sorry about that. Just being honest with you, to be honest with you. Hold Fast, this is my only 18 plus video because people were swearing, so I made it 18 plus. You know, if it's a video where people will be swearing, I'm going to make sure it's not on YouTube, you know, to the best extent I can. You know, things might slip through, but I try and make it so my YouTube is as welcoming as physically possible. Then the video that changed the little area. Sorry, let me go from the bottom. You know, replace more Songs of Six. I had my house move. So I was gone. That's why you'll notice when I was going over statistics earlier, there was a big gap of where there was nothing. I had no internet. So I moved in really quickly. It was only like 2 weeks. But then the internet provider was like, hey, so you know the date we've got to come and install your internet? I'm like, yep. They were like, oh, yeah, no, we can't do it. We're going to be another month. And I was like, no way. No way. I was like, that's ridiculous. And you're still charging me. And they did charge me, funny enough. So I kicked up a fuss and they refunded me. And then a little bit on top for good grace. But yeah, that was annoying. But it's what it is, you know. I upload. Funny enough, this is the first time I ever upload Hold Fast gameplay. And I was playing front lines. That was it. Getting quite a few hundred views, and that's where I was like, huh. Hold Fast is fun. I can't remember what that question said, but it's something about is the game worth getting. But I was like, you know what? Let me do it. You know, let me get this game. At the same time, I'm also playing Citizen Sleeper because I know Citizen Sleeper 2 is coming up, so I wanted to get that done before sort of the second game came out. But technically, I've not even finished the second game, so sorry about that, guys. No one watched it, it's fine. But I enjoyed it. I love Citizen Sleeper. So we got through right to the end. And I have this really bad habit of leaving games just before I finish them, so sorry about that. But then, yeah, we play this game. We play Suzerain, which this is my most viewed video ever. Ever. I've never had a video you watch more than this, like, ever before. So, views-wise, the same as Bustle and Delivery, but at watch time-wise, completely blown it out of the water. Which is crazy to me that people are watching it, and then they're watching the subsequent parts. And I can tell because I'll get views throughout the full series, and then they'll start the second series and watch that through. So that's really nice to see sometimes. It really is a motivator when you see that people are watching your series, you know, you're seeing it be watched and it feels good. Then obviously we go to, obviously start Citizen Sleeper 2, Airborne Empire. Now Airborne Empire I enjoyed, but not as much as I thought I would, so I dropped that series. After a few parts, I was just like, it's good, but it's really repetitive. And I started doing IRL cooking streams, which I literally did one the other day I need to upload. So they're quite fun. I make some weird meals, I've realised. Sorry, let me just show you this again, because she's so cute. It's just the sun. She's just sunning herself with a big belly. I love that cat. But no, so we play a little bit of KCD2, but you'll notice I've privated those videos. The streams, I hate playing it on controller. Hate it, but I can't run it on PC. So what I would rather do with KCD2, give it a while, than just play it on PC. Get a new PC, play it on PC. One thing I need to play more of is X4 Foundations. Now, my PC is getting so old now that it really struggles to play X4, so I'm on a line there. Whether I continue that or postpone it, but I will not get rid of that series ever. Love X4. One of my most played games ever. Then I released my first Holdfast video on March 29th, so that was my first compilation video. That was my first edited video, and it did relatively well, you know, a few hundred views, or 162. Start uploading the king we need, so obviously Suzerain is done. Then we start the DLC Rizia. I start opening Pokemon packs at the same time as well. Ooh. Does that turn into some fun? Much later on. Stopped now, interestingly enough. Like I like them, and I will get them more in the future, but I'm like, no, let me be safer with money at the moment. Not be as frivolous, and hold on to that a bit more. Then we were also doing our RimWorld series, still going, by the way, still going. If you're ever interested, I'm more than happy to name a character after you. Let me know. But hop into the videos, you might like them. But then yeah, we play through sort of our Suzerain, our Rizia DLC. Keep going with that. Played a lot of Oblivion all at once. I really enjoyed Oblivion. Oblivion's a fun game. Just on the back burner at the moment, because I feel like Oblivion, you do it in waves. A bit like how I was with Doom. I played it a lot, and then continued later on. I did a thumbnail test. I forgot about that. Yeah, so we played through these, we kept going, had Destined Rivals came out, so I opened those, tried a really clickbaity thumbnail, didn't work at all. Rogue Trader, had an experiment session with that, actually love Rogue Trader, and I will continue that. It's just, I play a lot of games at once and then kind of get busy. Expedition 33, thought I would hate that game, love it. So that's one of the few exceptions where I play a series, even if it gets no views. I love the game, so I'm not stopping. Do my first sing-along video, because we're joking in game. That's another video I edited, along with How to Train Your Dragon review. So I reviewed a movie. I did that. I'm trying to get more into editing videos. Then obviously TCG, which I'm playing at the moment, and then my Kimetsu no Yaiba sort of gameplay for Hinokami Chronicles. So that's where we're at now. Few hundred videos. We're growing the channel even more. We'll see how it goes. I think if I go to my channel, it'll tell me exactly how many videos I have. There we go, 184 videos public at the moment. So, and 224 subs, thanks to that. Whatever happened earlier, thank you. So, yeah, we're up to 184 videos. I'm hoping in a year's time, let's try and double it. You know, that's what I'm hoping to do. Double it, more vlogs, you know, more videos, not necessarily like this, but IRL. I want to go explore places. I want to take my phone. You know, I have a 16 Pro Max now, which camera's good enough to do that. You know, that's why, I'll be honest with you, this phone's really impressed me in multiple ways. Battery, the ability to record on it and it look amazing. You know, I saw cameras for this, and I have a family member who has one, and I was like, I need to upgrade my phone. Mine was getting really old by that point, and it was really struggling. And I thought, you know what, let me take the dive, let me get that. And I've not regretted it at all. Then I actually traded in my old phone, got a pair of AirPods. I was really happy with it. These are somewhat, in my opinion, better than the phone. They're sound cancelling. I love them. Different matter, off topic. But yeah, it's been amazing. You know, and if you're here right now watching this, because there's going to be more towards the end of the video, thank you. You know, it's the fact that you've given my video a chance, you've watched it. I can't thank you more than from the bottom of my heart on that, because without you being here right now, what's the point? You know, you have to ask yourself that. But I don't think it's going to stop me. I will not stop uploading videos, ever. I've had a few people jab me, tell me to stop. Never going to happen. You know, if you let that get you down when you're on YouTube, then, you know, you're asking for trouble. But I just, you know, I go through comments, and I'd say 99% of the time they're some of the best comments I've ever seen. There's only a few of them which have been a bit nasty, but I get rid of those and be very happy with the nice ones. But then, to be fair, thank you for the nasty comments. It helps with the algorithm, so you're letting more people see me. But yeah, no, so I'm going to keep going with this. I'm going to show you now a channel very important to me. In one moment. Okay, we're back with another. So this is my sister's channel. I think you should watch it because her videos are actually so much better than me. She works in the film industry. And she's really good at editing a video, and she does all of this off of a mobile. So I'm like, all right, I need to get my foot into gear. But she does amazingly, and I think if you're looking for, obviously we're similar, you know, we grew up together. So if you're looking for something where it's like my kind of vibe, I'd give my sister a review as well. She's much better than me. I've no doubt that in her time on YouTube, she uploaded 3 weeks ago and she's already got nearly half of my subs. So I don't doubt that she's going to do significantly better than me, and she deserves to be quite honest with you. She's absolutely incredible. So that's why I think if you watch her stuff, you're going to love it. Honestly, she does amazingly. Okay, give that a little check. Then it's back to me, and not just me. Dingbat the cat. Oh ho ho, the real reason you're all here. Oh, the little chunky beast she is. My little baby, I love her. But I just want to say a massive thank you for watching through this again, and thank you for being here. All the channels I've talked about, Flipper, my own Twitch if you've not seen it, and then sort of my sister, I'm all linking below. But a massive thank you for being here, and I hope to another amazing year. My question to you is, if you're an existing viewer, what has been your favourite moment from the last year? Let's leave it on that. Thank you so much, and I hope to catch you in the many videos that are to come this year. Have an amazing day, and I hope to speak to you all again soon. Bye for now.